You don't see monuments of joy. Laughter expresses joy, and tears also. I've cried from joy and I've laughed to get through tragic times. Faith, it's a decision that one makes that they are not going to lose themselves. I've had very, very good painters here for courses, and they struggle and they struggle. And we realized why the last time around. It's because there's a golden rule in painting when you're doing a portrait that is death in sculpture. That's because when you're doing a portrait in painting or drawing, nobody can move. The sitter can't move, and the painter has to look from exactly that perspective. Well, in sculpture, if you do that, you can't capture it. So you have to continually work from different angles. Too long from one perspective and something gets overdeveloped. A lot of my life has been based on dreams. I dreamt when I was about 3-4 years old of the fjords of Norway. So I grew up with this fascination of Norway, Nordic, all that kind of cultures. I've been sculpting from very early on, basically all my life. I just loved to have my hands in the clay. First grade, I can remember making alligators. Why alligators, I have no idea, but that's what came out. I decided very early on, this is my life. I'm going to be a sculptor. In one sense, sculpture is the language of giving form to the formless. Emotions, thoughts, feelings, they have no tangible qualities. In the winter, when the wind picks up and it blows the snow around, we have a chance to see something that is otherwise invisible. When I'm working, the structure is essential, but there's the wind. It's always present in my mind when I'm creating. Growing up, we were a relatively average, middle-class, Reformed Jewish family. A certain part of the religious practices I couldn't necessarily relate to. It was a lot of going through the motions. The spiritual quality of it, that came later through my own experiences. I hitchhiked around in the US for many years. Then, when I was 25, I packed up with my bicycle and a friend, and I came to Europe. It just seemed to deepen and nurture and increase my curiosity about who we are, who I am, what we come from. So I came to Norway, and oddly enough, it was this very emotional, I don't know, it's something stirring up inside when we crossed the border, literally. With the first light of day, I looked around me, and suddenly I remembered. This was so much like the dream. But the oddest thing of all was it happened 2 separate times that somebody came up to me on the street, said to me in English, "You have been here before." The more that we delve into life, it reveals what we call purpose. But if we lose ourselves, then purpose disappears. Sometimes it can be a prison, the sculpture. There have been periods in my life where I've seriously considered, is this what I want to use my time and my will for in this world? Can I do something more? Can I do something different? You just want to make people happy. I think a lot of life revolves around sense of joy. Whether one has it and has a lot of it, whether one has been denied it, is playing a profound role. This is the old part of the city. It's called Møllebyen, which means mill town. This was one of the fundamental cities in Norway for industry. And you can see these beautiful old buildings are still standing. Some nice workshops inside there. It's a beautiful area. The nature is magnificent. I hope it's in tune. Might not be. The time has come for the unification, one mind and one heart of mankind. Too much ignorance, it stands in the way of knowledge of the divine. You have your way and I have mine. You learn to live by your kind. But if you look to see the signs, there's only one truth for all. What I really like the most is getting songs across that have something to say, you know, have some depth, have some philosophy, have some poetry. I don't play it very often these days, you know, but I've been playing since I'm a teenager. That was a big thing that brought a lot of friends and I together. I teach youth drawing. And one boy, he asked me one day, Bruce, why is it that when people make sculptures, they're always so serious? Shouldn't they be a bit more joyful, happy, you know, or lighter? And something clicked in the back of my head when he said that. It started me off on a whole series of making faces that were just full of joy. That was the only intention of it. And I Googled old, happy, toothless people. And these photographs came up of the most remarkable old people with such a radiance, such a joy and a life force in them. I couldn't believe it. Some of these faces that I'd chosen, one was from Vietnam, one was from Balkans. And so I know they lived through war. I know they lived through hell, and they have all the rights to be broken, bitter people. But they had this tremendous, tremendous radiance. Joy is a gift from God. Joy is an expression of God. Somewhere along the way, something carried them through these tragedies. A fellow at the church asked me if I wanted to have them there. I said, sure, why not? Put them there, and it was only a week later that a girl the same age as my daughter, just weeks before graduation, she suddenly died. And as a family who we were friends with, it was a terrible situation. When one who hasn't had the opportunity to live a full life, who has so much life in them, is tragic. My daughter and she, they were best of friends. We knew the family quite well, and it's a devastating event. The funeral was coming, and I said to them, maybe we should take the heads out of the church. Maybe they're not appropriate for a funeral of that kind. But the family said, no, leave them, because it's her persona. During the funeral service, the whole class was there and they sang. And it was terribly beautiful. I spoke to one of them after, and he told me that there was a few times that he didn't think he was going to make it. And he looked at the heads, and they carried him through the whole ceremony. So that's when they gained their title, the Keepers of the Faith. I got the idea, why don't we put these in the water? And it quickly grew into these large heads out in the bay. People will ask, why in the water? If you go and you see them on a stormy day, and you see the water swallowing them up, and each time the water goes down, they're still smiling. They carry that potential to remind people that life is challenges. There's always the other side, though. It's a faith of life. It's a faith of the life source. Through the technical engineering of it and creating these very, very immensely solid foundations that go deep into the seabed, this will keep the heads there through all wind and storm. What a fantastic metaphor that is for faith itself. With all the challenges that come, to have that foundation in what is truthful, in what is spirit, you can't be swayed in that way. I said to myself, look, Bruce, you want to make these individuals, you want to bring forth this expression, you better be that yourself. So they became a role model. They carried me through as well. Life is a gift from God. The closer we come to realizing that, the more joy we experience. There's a true, profound keeper of the faith.